Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to this first webinar from the Bali Audio Academy. Welcome. This is our first time, so please bear with us. We have technical issues. Unfortunately, the YouTube link has jumped, so we had a new link. I hope you could find us. So thank you very much for joining us. We're going to talk today about making a career for yourself in the music industry, music and sound industry. Of course, as you know, we want to talk about all kind of elements. We're not only talking about music, we're talking about music recording, music mastering, live recordings, broadcast, live sound, podcast. We want to be in every audio field. So let me introduce you to our guests. We have in a strange window because it's strange. We have Jeremy, Jay Psar, DJ from Brussels, DJ and producer. Sorry, but I met Jay about how many years ago? 18 years ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
And he was DJing in a dance convention. I remember that. And he was doing DJing for a lady with very big boobs, and he was doing really good mixing for this teacher, and it was very different to have a dance class with a live DJ. It was really amazing. Then we have Leo 55 next to him, and Leo is a producer and artist in Brussels. Hi, Leo.
Hello.
So Leo is the youngest of all our people, and I know him for many years because he's my son. I'm not gonna. But he's an artist by himself. He's very talented, and I'm very, very honored to have him today with us. Then we have Nico that I met recently. Nico, hi Nico.
Hi.
Oops.
Hi.
Sorry, we don't have the right image. Can we have Nico?
Yeah, hi.
Hey Nico. So I met Nico not long ago when I was in Bali, and he's a producer, arranger, engineer, and what struck me with Nico is the first thing he said to me when I met him in the studio is he immediately apologized for the poor isolation between the booth and the recording studio, which I was like, wow, that's detailed mention. He was really, whoa, that's the first thing he told me. So I was very impressed by that. So I want to really ask you guys a question first is, okay, can you tell us about how did you get into the, sorry, hey, I forgot somebody. Is he still there? Yes, we also have Milud with us. Sorry, Milud. Milud is a mastering engineer, and today he's working in the European Parliament. And so, as you may know, Belgium and Europe in general have a lot of crises at the moment, and Milud is working in a place where he cannot switch on his webcam. So, hi, Milud. Can you hear us? Hello, Milud. Milud is busy fighting the elements. No worries. Can we go back to me and we can continue? So I was going to ask you a question is, what is your, how did you start? How did you begin into the music industry? And what was your first step towards the music industry? Let's start with maybe Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jay. I started off in my parents' garage at the age of 13 through my first party because I wanted to buy a mixer. It ended up in a riot. They stole my CD, killed my equipment, and that was the greatest beginning ever. I could buy my first mixer at the end of this party. I'm 41 years old now, and nothing's changed except that we're building great things, bigger things. It's a passion. It's my life. It's not my job, even though I consider it a business these days. But fast forward, I'm passionate about finding new gems, new artists, people that make a difference, people that change the game. As a DJ at first, I mean, I've been a DJ my whole life. Got to production about 12 years ago. Along the way, I got a chance to win a Grammy Award with Diplo and Skrillex for the album Jack U on the song Jungle Bay. I got to contribute to the launch of many different artists, Stromae, DJ Snake, Lucen the Yakuza, to name a few. Today, I'm the founder of a company called Hug Productions, along with Sirani. We're a duo, and basically our company is called Hug Productions. Hug stands for Help You Grow, and this is literally what we're doing here working from Brussels, but with people on the 5 continents. So I'm really passionate about growth, how to tell your story in a different way by remaining loyal to your core values. So yeah, this is in less than 2 minutes who I am.
Fantastic, fantastic. Um, Sorry, on a blank petit pin. We need a pin, otherwise I cannot be seen because my microphone doesn't go in the same way. So, very interesting. You started when you were 13. You have, may I ask how old you are now?
41 years old.
41 years old. Wow, so that's a super long career. Just so I know, did you study something? Did you have some education?
Marketing. My parents asked me to go to school, get my degree, and do everything the right way so that I could pursue my dream of being a DJ, sharing other people's music at first. So yeah, I did marketing, but it was such a long time ago that so many things have changed. But yeah, this is how my brain functions basically. Yeah.
I remember when we just met, you just finished your marketing degree and you were so happy that you could stop worrying about marketing and only focus on music. All right, can we now talk to Mr. Leo? When did you start and how did it all happen for you?
Well, so I started, let's see, it was 2016, so relatively late in life, especially compared to what Jeremy just said. And so the way I got into music, I think, is the same way everyone does. It was just in a small room, but with lots of passion. But when you say how to get into the industry, I think that's a question that's pretty unique to all of us. And these days, I'm blessed to work as a producer in Brussels and to have my own projects. And thirdly, I enjoy working into the live sections of music and producing shows. So taking albums and making live shows out of them. And to answer the question of the industry thing, I think it's just as the passion grows and we keep working, it's just something that naturally happens. I don't think it's just a byproduct of what we do,
All right. Did you study something?
So I studied in Paris, actually, in the Abbey Road Institute, which was a very technical school. I have a rather technical background. So with that, I think a lot of the artistic values that I work with today are more my own, but the technical background I have allow me to be pretty autonomous artistically and explore in a way that was much more free.
Cool. Thank you for that. Do we still have Milud around or is he jumping? I'm asking a friend next to me. I think he jumped out, right? No, Milud, are you there? No, Milud is not around. Never mind, let's continue. All right, Nico, tell us how did you start in the industry? And okay, so you are from Indonesia. I think things are very different in your country. Please emphasize the differences for us.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Nico, and I'm from Indonesia, and now I live in Bali. But before I started the music career in Jakarta, it's around 2008 when I moved to Jakarta, and then I start with the audio editing first, and then it grows, and then for now I'm a music producer, and also I own Cine Production Indonesia with my wife. We make music video, and yeah, that's the uh, big picture of my career.
Okay, you're also a musician, correct?
Yeah, I'm also a musician.
What do you play?
Okay, basically I play pianos and keyboards, but since we need to make music, so we have to learn everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you study music when you were young or?
Yeah, I do some music course, like a piano course, and then But for the production itself, I just learned from my mentor. Yeah, they teach me the technical, and then after that, in the industries, we can grow with
I see.
our own style. Yeah, they just teach us the technical, and we at the end we have our own style in the industries.
Cool. Cool. Let's try one more time, see if Milud is around. Are you there, Milud? Milud, Milud, Milud? No, Milud is fighting the elements. I think he's a lost cause for today. Never mind. All right, Jay, can you pinpoint a moment in your career where things changed for you and was like, oh, this is amazing, this is how it should be, and this is how I'm going to do it for the future?
There were many different steps throughout my life. Of course, my first party, I faced adversity right away. Like, they don't want me to win. They don't want me to do this. I'm gonna fucking go even harder, even though I'm 13 years old. Fast forward, I can't get into the club and, under 18. So I thought of starting my own radio show. So 15 years old, I get my own radio show. And that's also like, you know, a, a very important step in my career, because at first I was more of a, in the hip hop rap scene. I actually was a rapper myself back then. And then slowly got my first girlfriend. She brought me to the club, and I was like, holy shit, this is so fucking great. Like, I've seen everybody having fun. Who are those guys on stage? They were the DJs and breaking new music. This made me travel. Then a couple of years later, I go to New York for the first time in September 2000, and then I discovered the American dream, the hustle, the ride or die, do or die type of mentality. Well, over here in Belgium, we're pretty much comfortable, right? Take it easy, they would say. In the States, it's totally different. So yeah, these were the different steps that led me to this mindset. Determination is really important in my values. So first radio shows, school, yeah, first trip to the States was very, very important. And then started touring. Brussels is a very small place with sometimes small mentalities that forced me to leave the country.
True.
It's a bit, that's the thing with Belgium, where it's so small that we have to leave the country to meet our full potential. That's what I think. So my first travels, my first trips to Germany, Holland, Paris, then going to Canada a couple of years later really opened my mind. Not to get too technical on this point, but traveling is key, man. This is what changed everything for me. So there was not like one major event. It's more like a succession of events um, that put me in that shape. And those, I mean, years later, of course, winning a Grammy, of course, work, discovering artists like the Stromae, Lucen, the Yakuza, like I mentioned earlier. DJ Snake is a good friend of mine. Like, we used to work together back in the early 2000s. So, it's basically being a DJ was my background. I'm not a musician, I'm not a sound engineer, but I know how to make people dance. So being in clubs every weekend for the past 15 years was also uh, you know um, a defining moment. Getting
Yeah.
those skills that I can't really tell. The 10,000 hours basically. Well, I started on the turntables, then I really wanted to make my own sounds.
Yeah.
So there's a
So
bit of
basically, you traveled a lot. You met a lot of people, and each. I feel that in your career, you meet people that are so crucial, and they form who you are, and they form what you want to do, and they form um, your direction. So you mentioned a
absolutely.
few artists. Uh, is there anybody else, like maybe a mentor that you might had that pushed you a bit to go further or to think differently?
Oh, I had many mentors, depending on my age. But then my mentors would become my friends. Like, I would really approach them. But depending on my life, like when I was 13 years old, of course, Daddy K was a mentor. Had the first French-speaking rap group over here with those turntables, breakdancing. We didn't even know each other, but I was looking up to him through
Cool.
television. Cut Killer, same thing, and then on and on. I had mentors for a couple of years, but no, I don't stick to one particular mentor. I like I like to, see what everyone else is cooking, then make my own recipe, and take what I like and what could represent me, and
Cool.
and help me identifying. So no, there's no real one mentor that I have. Of course, like right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly overseas because I love the American way of doing business and making things happen, telling a story that's really inspiring for me. I would say maybe someone like Gary V.
Okay.
He's got nothing to do with music, but Gary V is somebody that really speaks to me. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What about Leo? Can you tell us also what are the key moments in your career we saw this was a key moment that changed a bit the way I'm going?
Yes, of course, of course. And as I do that, I think I like to mention that when we see these music careers from the outside, we can see things that seem like big steps and big moments, right? But behind the scenes, it's a grind, you know? And so just like what Jay just said, uh, despite winning a Grammy and everything, we don't see all the years that he was working on it. So as much as I do feel like I have big moments that really help me push through, um, it's really a day-to-day thing. And so if I were to mention a few moments, I would say there was one instance where I was in Paris, where I had the opportunity to share the studio with a man named Focus. And so Focus was and still is actually a producer and Aftermath label. So I think it's owned by Dr. Dre. And me and Focus don't make the same type of music at all. It was this big American guy, and we just had the opportunity to share some time together in there, and it was so eye opening just to see the level at which they would do things in America. And even though we didn't collaborate per se, because I was just there helping out, just to witness the level and the passion for which they do things in America was pretty eye opening. I say America, but this is just because this was the the guy that was here, and so I think the moments that defined me the most was just watching, just seeing what could be done, and seeing how I could participate in that.
All right, so there are no real key moments for you. It's just a process, a long process where you go through meeting people, seeing things, trying things, I guess.
So there are moments, but like you said, it's much more gradual than it seems. I believe.
Okay, but any key moments, something that you've done that are really there was or something changed after that for you?
Well, of course, once I signed with Sony for the first time, life changes because I don't have to. I can just focus on music, but just but then again, the day I signed, after signing, I just went back home to my apartment and kept doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's not like life
Yeah,
changes completely.
I
It's much
understand.
more fluid than it seems.
All right, thank you very much, Nico. So how about you? How did
Yeah.
you get there? And what are the moments, the key moments you did?
Okay. So for my key moments, I think it's not a key moment, but more like a steps. Yeah, it's like a steps. So when the first time I go to Jakarta, and then I have a friend. He's also a sound engineer, and then he teach me the basic things about the DAW. For that time, we use Pro Tools 7, if I
Okay,
remember.
long time ago.
Start from 7, and then after I finish, after he finished with me, and then he told me to go to another mentor, and then after that, the next mentor, uh, he told me you should go to one of the best producer in Indonesia. Name is Pai Burman. He's a songwriter producer, and that's my uh, my door to the industry as a musician, as a producer, and as an engineer. So maybe it's the steps. But for me, for myself, it's yeah to get the trust from the labels. Yeah, you need time. You need time. You
Mm-hmm.
need to
Takes time to get people to trust
make
you, and
something
yeah.
bad first. Yeah, make something bad first, then you know that it's bad, and at the end you know what is good for them. Yeah, it needs time. It takes time. Yeah, and then
So, what is the project you've worked on which you're the most proud of? You say, "Oh, this was a moment I did this job, and I'm like, wow."
yeah. So for that thing, I think all of my projects and also our projects with my wife, uh, we never feel like very satisfied. Yeah, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because we think that if we think we have achieved something, then we have to stop.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we will always say that
So you're looking for the
no,
perfection.
yeah, it's not perfect yet.
Okay.
It's not perfect yet for us.
Can you tell us
We
about
need to.
Can you tell us a bit about your wife, because you mentioned her a lot? So what do you do with her? She seems quite important in your
Yeah,
professional life.
she's a singer and songwriter. So after we got married and then we work together, she write the song, I make the music. We do for movie soundtracks. We do for another singer and also our own projects. Yeah,
I should have asked her
that.
to come next to you today.
Yeah,
Would have been smarter. Sorry about that. Tell her I'm sorry. Very good. Very good. Shall we try our friend Milud still? Our friend Milud, are you around? No. No, our friend Milud is really fighting the elements, I think. So, all right, never mind. Let's talk
Hello,
about.
hello.
Ah,
Yeah, sorry.
oh, Milud is there, guys. Let's
Yeah,
go back to
yeah,
Milud. We're happy to have
yeah,
Milud.
yeah, yeah. I have, yes, I have
We,
just 5 minutes.
all right,
Okay?
let's do
It's
it
okay?
quickly. Yeah, it's fine. Well, let's do that.
Okay.
So,
Okay, very good.
Milud
Okay.
is quickly. Can you introduce yourself, your past, and how did you got to where you are right
Yeah?
now? Here you go.
Okay. Okay, my name is Milud, and yeah, I'm a mastering engineer. I work with record companies, professionals, and independents. I was trained by Tom Coyne from New York and worked with Benny Goodman from California, more exactly from Los Angeles, Hollywood. Mastering is the last step before manufacturing and releasing the product, CD, vinyl, streaming, even cassettes, and more from TV too. And
Okay, so these are key. So where did you study, and when did you go to the States, and when did you come back?
je t'entends pas très bien.
Hello, 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 hello,
Hello?
hello. I was
Hello?
asking, Milud, can you hear me? Testing one, two,
Hello?
three. Milud is in a fighting zone. Wi-Fi is not so good. 4G either. Milud, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi is
Okay,
not
we
good.
can hear you fine. So Milud,
Hello,
can you?
hello.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're gonna skip Milud and go back to our main events. Milud, we can't hear you, so good luck to you for the rest of the day, and we hope to see you in Bali. Bye for now, Milud. Okay, so sorry about all these technical things, but yeah. Maybe I can talk a bit about myself, because you heard about these 3.5 individuals working. I also have a music career. I also worked for a long time I'm also grinded my way, but I'm not a musician. This is my big frustration in life, that I never managed to play music. I'm an engineer, I'm a technical guy. I always like to fiddle with equipment and presets and computers. So I started doing sound seriously when I was 15, 16. And when I was 19, 18, I joined a studio called Kid Studio, where I was the assistant, and I learned about SSLs, tape machines. Yeah, it was a place where a lot of great people came through. I had the experience of recording orchestras. I had the occasion to record, assist. I was not recording myself, but I was assisting on many great sessions, including Depeche Mode, including, yeah, Technotronics, which I mixed at the end. But I keep saying, and people say, oh, you mixed Technotronic, it's fantastic. Yeah, I got, how much? 15 euro for it, because I was just the only available engineer on a Sunday, and I did it, and that's it. But yeah, it sounded good, and it became a hit. But of course, there are 10 million other versions since. But yeah, what I mean by that is that it's work. You have to do all kind of things all the time. I do music recording. I do advertising, because music is not paying enough. So I always did advertising, sound engineering, which usually paid my bills, and I would do music for fun. And I do also a bit of live music and conferences. So I started in Kitsch, then I traveled to Asia for many years, where I was in Malaysia, I was in Thailand. I worked with Chinese superstars like Jackie Chung. I did a whole career in Asia. I produced and created some labels. I launched an artist called Jason Lowe, which is now a superstar in Malaysia, still a bit less these days, but he has a very big career in Malaysia. I worked with Indonesian artists when I was in Malaysia, with Eddie MS, with a few other artists I forgot. I think he died. Mobil Papa, Mobil Mama. I remember the song, but I don't remember the name of the artist. Anyway, that was a long time ago, and then I came back to Belgium. I did advertising, I did broadcast, I worked in the national TV station, and I started a small label called Fly Fly Fly, which is basically the basis that was also a co-working area where a lot of artists were collaborating, including Jay, including Leo, and including many others. And now I'm teaching. I've been teaching in SAE for a while, and I'm now planning to start the Bali Audio Academy. This is me really quickly. If you have questions about the Bali Audio Academy, and about anything else, to anybody else actually, you can leave us a message on the chat of YouTube, and don't be shy, we will answer them at the end. We want you to be able to have any answers to any questions you might have. So let's talk about the future now, the future of all these amazing people. So let's start with Jay. What are your plans? I mean, you just released a great project. Tell us first about the project you just released, if you don't mind, and what is next.
Well, last year I dropped this project called My Last Mixtape. After COVID hit, I really had a creative lockdown here at the Hug Studio. So came up with this idea, and before like actually working on an actual album, I wanted to have fun. You know, for us DJs, a mixtape is a playground basically where we can try many different things. So long story short, I reunited 20 artists from 13 different countries, over 15 different records. It's out on Spotify, on all the DSPs. This was actually a need. I needed to get this off my chest, to get my textures, my vision sonic wise. I don't believe in genres anymore. I'm a DJ, and I'm all about mixing the different elements with respect every time, of course. But the many artists that I met in the past showed me that you have to be unique. You have to come with your own recipe. My recipe is to blend, mash up, like create. I'm not gonna be that arrogant and say I'm trying to invent a genre, not at all. But these are my ingredients. I look at myself like a chef.
All right.
When you're in my kitchen, well, bon appetit.
Is the music a therapy for you?
Music is therapy. Music is my life. It's become my business too. It's in my heart. I know it sounds a bit cliche and all, but Of course, it's therapy. It's therapeutic. It's not my therapy, but it's therapeutic for
Okay.
sure. For
What
sure.
what are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future is to sit with more artists in the studio. I want to bring this valuable experience of mine, having traveled the world many different times. I'm passionate about the younger generations. Show them not the way, but give them, you know, tips and tricks. And if they can, you know, like save some time here and there, I'll be more than happy to do that, even though I believe that everybody has to make their own mistakes. So my plans for the future is hug, help you grow. We work with creatives, with labels, managements, artists in a way that we like to let them know that they can actually tell their story in an honest way, while everybody think, you know, that we should do the coolest dance on TikTok or the latest challenge. That's not true. I mean, we really try to understand who the artist is, whether it's in the studio or with the marketing teams, the creative teams, is how are we gonna, you know, create this image that truly represents you. We're not really aligning with artists that do stuff that they don't like, because if you do something that you don't like, how are you going to connect with your community, with your crowd? You see what I mean?
So it's
So
branding.
long
You're working on the artist branding. Can I say it?
branding, but also the sonics.
Yeah, the
Like
product.
when I have artists coming here, I'm always trying to push them outside of their comfort zone, and I think that's what makes you know, my
Better.
value as well as
Yeah.
a producer. Yeah.
Okay, so your future plans is basically continue growing with Hug, and
Yeah. Hug will be the home of all my projects,
mhm,
and also work with my wife Sirani, and
which I
yeah,
also
this
should
will
have invited. I'm sorry.
next time, man, or maybe she'll come with me to Bali.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, Hug Productions will be the home of all these awesome creative projects produced in the capital of Europe, Brussels. This is
Okay.
what we're going to be doing in a not just this year, but for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Like literally create this sort of, you know, I want to say legacy, but maybe that's too big word for now. But
Okay.
it's giving the occasion to artists to feel free with their art.
Okay. Great. All right. Thank you, Leo. What are your plans for the future? I mean, short term and long term, and how you think you can? What are the steps you're going to take for your career to continue growth?
Well, I think we're in an interesting time in music. To reflect on what Jay just said, I think he's not the only one to feel genreless these days. I think it's something that's moving quite a bit, and is I think genres has never been as fluid as they are now. So I think it's an interesting time to try things out, and so I think that's exactly what I'm doing as far as my own music goes. But now, as far as the different facets of what I do, you know, I think the production I do has really helped me evolve personally and musically, and so that's definitely going to be part of what's coming next. And so hopefully, I just keep keep making records for people that I enjoy spending time with, and these people have just influenced me so much. So I just hopefully keep growing together as a group.
Is it fair to say that you used to be very hip hop R&B producer, and now much less?
Well, it's hard to say. Maybe. I don't. Would I say that? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's because like I don't feel like I lost any of that. I just feel like I added to it.
Okay.
So
That's
I,
good.
no matter what I do, that's still be part of who I am musically. I just feel like my palette is way wider than it's ever been. And so, and this also goes hand in hand with producing the live shows, just something I really enjoy doing. And it's very gratifying. It's a lot of work, but something that I don't see myself not doing ever, to be honest.
Can you explain to us what it means exactly? What is that job that you mentioned, which is okay, live music production, what arrangement and production? What do you mean by that?
So basically, an artist will have this album, right? Or this collection of songs, EP or whatever it is. And so what I mean by producing shows is basically just taking this product, this project, and transforming it into a live show. Tout va bien?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay.
Sorry.
So, so basically, just the process, and so what this entails really is just taking the songs, making creative decisions on what we want to put on stage compared to the energy of the songs, and also the realistic aspects of the budget, how many musicians we want to tour
Okay.
with, what are the logistical challenges that come with this type of music and the venues we intend to play at. And with all that, try to make a show that represents the project the best way we can. And also, I think it's a very important part of presenting the personality of these artists in a much more real way that you just can't necessarily do in a project sometimes. And so it's a very all-encompassing aspect of the artist, I feel like. And
So that's what you
and
want to do
so-
in the future, basically, correct? This is what that's your fire right now.
Well, I think I definitely need to keep the studio aspect. And because one thing about this job is that, first of all, it's very seasonal, especially here in Belgium. Everyone plays in the summer. Right now it's January, February, and none of my friends are touring right now. So it's very seasonal. So I'll definitely keep the studio aspect of what I do, but this will always be an ingredient, I believe.
Okay. Very good. What about Nico? Nico, what are your projects for the future, and what do you plan to do? I mean, of course, you're going to continue producing songs, but do you have any plans, master plan, I would say, for the future?
Yeah, for the future, I think as you know, Indonesia is a big country with a big market, but
Can you just for people who don't know, how many people are in Indonesia?
how many people?
Yeah.
270 million people
Okay. And
around.
do you know roughly? So I mean, it's a very young population. A lot of young people in Indonesia. So
Yeah,
actually, a
very
lot of
lot.
music consumer in Indonesia. That's why
Yeah,
the music industry in Indonesia is alive.
yeah. So for that much people, the market is very big. But if you look closer to the growth of the music industry in Indonesia, the 5 or 10 top charts in Indonesia is always a sad ballad song.
Yeah.
Always, as always. Yeah. So if I got an order from the label, 90% of that is also a sad ballad song. Yeah, and like I need that job, yeah, for living, yes. But sometimes uh you feel bored. You will make the same formula, yeah. And because it's a label, they don't want it here, they don't want to
To take a
be,
risk. Everybody, it's the
yeah,
same thing
it's,
here. Nico, we have the
yeah,
same problem here with hip hop, with rap. There's a recipe to make rap songs, and everybody does the same. Everybody has splice. Everybody has the same synths, the same plugins, and yeah, that's what the label wants. So we have the same
yeah,
problem, not with love song, but with hip hop songs.
yeah.
So you would
So
like
so
to start something fresh or something different?
yeah, that's why I'm happy to meet you guys all, Jay, Leo, Nick, and then I hope when we meet we can make something. Yeah, because Indonesia is, if you know, Indonesia have many cultures, many music styles, many traditional sound, and yeah, we can explore that and we can make something from that. Yeah,
Cool.
it's very, yeah,
But
it's very
wh-
good.
what are your plans with your company? What are do you have any projects coming up for the future or that are
Yeah,
exciting?
the big project is to make Indonesian traditional songs with traditional instruments and also traditional languages, but in the modern production.
Okay, that's a cool project.
That's what me and my wife planning.
Yeah, that's
but we need a lot of budget to do that.
yeah. But it's a great project because Indonesia
Yeah.
has, I don't know how many language, I don't know how many culture, how many different
Yeah.
vibe there are, and so yeah, it could be really good to yeah, it's a good idea. I love it. I love it. Really, I love it. We have one question on the chat. One. Thank you for that. Diaz. Thank you for that. He asks, I have a question. What is the number one advice you would give to anyone planning to work in the music industry? The number one advice. Let's start with Jay, if you don't mind.
Wow, that's a tough one because there's not just one. It's not just one advice. I feel like when I look at young artists, producers, whatever it is that you create, the first thing I think you should do is fail as much as you can, as good as you can, as early as you can. Because when you fail, that's when you learn. All the valuable lessons that I got is when I failed like crazy. I failed so many more times that I have succeeded.
This is exactly that's what also Nico just said when he was doing things that were bad. After that, it becomes better. So yeah.
And if you fail, please fail good and as early as you can, because trust me, you don't want to fail in 5-10 years when you're going to be successful. Number two, and the social media, of course, doesn't show you that, is everyone's doing better than you. That's not true. That's not true. There's no such thing. You might open the socials and get depressed because you don't get as many likes as your neighbor or the other producer. Well, screw that, man. You are your own company, your own brand. Consistency is key. Consistency will resolve it all. I know it's very general what I'm saying, but it works out pretty well. Don't fall for the social media thing and just I'm gonna end with the main cliche advice tips, but it's so real, man. Just be you. Just be you. We don't need another David Guetta. We don't need another Diplo. We don't need another Billie Eilish. We need you. We need to know who you are. What are you going to bring to the game? How are you going to change the game? Because if you don't change the game, trust me, we're not going to remember you. You're just going to be a copycat. And right now, everybody wants the shortcuts. Everyone's trying to, feel the end result without going to practice. And especially the new generation, they want it, and they want it now. Well, yeah, I mean, it works. It works sometimes, but I feel like if we're into this, at least I like to believe that we're in it for the long term.
Yeah,
It's about building. Of course, there's the we all want to shine on Instagram and have as many TikTok followers as we can and have the million and all that stuff. But yeah, first of all, have fun, be true to yourself, because like I said earlier, how is your audience going to connect with you if you're not doing something organic, sincere, something that lives in your guts, in your heart? Because again, if you're not going to be vulnerable with your art and accept to open up wide and let people inside your creative kingdom, how are they going to connect with you?
True.
You see what I mean? Like,
It's
we're
very
not trying to
poetic.
just go from one train to another and hop on the trend. Some people do that. I'm sure record labels love that shit. But we're in 2024. This is not 1972 anymore, all right? You have kids with a laptop that can change this whole game out there, get Grammys with just a laptop and a free version of FL.
True.
So just be yourself, fail, learn. Don't take anything for granted. And the last thing also that I want to add is get outside of your head, man. 95% of the things that matter for to you, and you think like, oh, I'm not ready, blah 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 blah, all this bullshit excuse, this comfort zone that you're creating, 95% of the things that matter to you, nobody cares about it. So relax, breathe, and drop that music.
Okay, cool, very good, very very interesting. What about Leo? A bit shorter, please, because we're running out of time. A bit a shorter version of what is your advice to a young person starting in the music industry?
I would say that, especially, and maybe you guys can relate to this, sometimes when we work in this professional environment of music, I think it's important for us to remember that we have to enjoy this, have to keep it fun, keep it light, because as much as I love the mentality of working hard, I don't think it's possible to work harder than someone who's enjoying it. You know what I mean? So if you really do what you want to do and find the pleasure into it, I think that's the basis of why we are in music. Because if we just wanted to grind to make money, we could have become lawyers. That would have worked better. So it's really just about, for me, my tip would be this: just remember to have fun, and that you remember why you started music, because this is what will help you make decisions even way further down the line.
Thank you very much, Leo. All right, Nico, what is your number one advice for somebody who wants to start in the music industry?
Okay, I agree with what Jay said. Consistency is the key. Yeah, just start, do the music, drop the music, and be consistent. Yeah, anything that you achieve from the first music, the second music, third music, yeah, just if you want to be in the music industry, just keep doing that. Just do what you like what you do. Yeah, that's from me.
Okay.
I agree with Jay.
All right. Can I also? I'm going to tell you what my number one advice would be, because I'm older and I'm not as hip as all my colleagues there, we are talking about careers here, right? We are talking about how can I say, making a living, okay? And what I think is important what I felt in the career, what I felt was very important, is to be able. I agree with all they said, but that's in a way also a bit of a super positive concept. Unfortunately, life gives you bad experiences. Sometimes you broke, sometimes you need to find money, you have to work, and that didn't answer that. A career is a whole way. You have good times and bad times. So I think you have to prepare for the bad times as well. That's my advice. So to be able to do that, I think as a music producer / engineer / music industry specialist, I think you need to be able to do many other things than just recording music. I think all of these gentlemen that we spoke to you, they all are able to actually record songs for others, mix songs for others. Maybe they're not enjoying it, but they can make money out of that. They all can produce content like podcasts or tutorials. If they need to, they are capable of doing it. Maybe not these specific people, but I think a professional has to be able to do live sound. At least the basics. You have to be able to find yourself in front of a live mixer and being okay, because it's not a different job. You need to be able to do the job in the studio, then take the job on live. All these are advice to make a career, because you would become the same engineer live and the studio. So both are important. So I think it's really important to be like, I don't know if you would understand my image, but like a Swiss knife. You have to be able to do all kinds of things. That is the way you can survive in the long term in this industry. That's, I hope for all of you, that you can have the same kind of career as these gentlemen, as Psar, as Jay, as Leo and as Nico, who are passionate and they are grinding and working and all that. But if you want to be ready for the downfalls, you need to open up to, I think, you need to open up to other areas that are linked to your work, but not specifically your work. This is my opinion. I hope you guys don't mind saying it. This is a bit my take on this. I think it's important to be much more open to be able to survive. Do we have any other questions? No? That's because we changed the link, so maybe people are... Anyway, it's about time. Just one last quick question. I would like to know from you guys, quickly please, a short answer. What are the tools, your favorite tools, and what are the stuff you use the most to produce your projects?
You
Jay.
mean DAWs, plugins?
Yes,
Like,
exactly. Whatever you.
I run Logic, Logic Pro. Been on it since the beginning almost. Yeah, I love Splice, but tweaking everything on Splice with many different tools that I can tell you about when we meet in Bali.
Okay, cool. Leo, what is your favorite tools at the moment?
So these days I'm on Ableton specifically for the way it works for live shows, but they're all good, to be honest. They're all good.
So what is special about Ableton for Live?
Oh,
Quickly, in a
that's
simple way.
there are a million reasons, but I'd say my favorite is the CC integration for changing hardware patches via MIDI
All
during
right.
a live show. It's my favorite one.
So that means, just to explain to the people, it just means that when you go to the next song in on stage, all the outboard and all the pedals, whatever, they all change to the right program as well. Okay, what about
To
Nico?
be clear, you could do that with the others, but on Ableton is my favorite.
Great, thank you. What about Nico?
Okay, so I use Pro Tools and the almost all Wave plugins. It's very versatile for every
Oh, yeah, what is your
genre,
favorite Wave
every
plugins?
every production. Yeah,
What
sorry.
is your favorite Wave plugin?
My favorite Wave plugin.
Yeah.
I have no
No?
favorite. Just
I'm sure there's one you use more
yeah,
than others.
I choose what I need. I choose what I need. But the C4 and C6 is the
Okay.
most.
Okay,
Yeah.
these are compressors, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much, all three and a half of you. And
Thanks, Nick.
yeah, I hope we can have another discussion, and I hope to see you guys in Bali. Maybe I will just, before we leave, talk about Bali. So the school is supposed to open in March. We need 12 students to be able to start. We are not there yet. We are still looking. So if it doesn't happen in March, it will happen a bit later on. But no matter what, all the gentlemen will come for a workshop. The idea is we have local teachers like Nico and others. Some will come from Malaysia, some will come from Australia. But then we'll have Leo, Milud, and Jay, and others who will come for 1 week hardcore training on one specific subject. So that's it for today. I thank you guys very much, and I wish you a fantastic day, and see you guys later. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, man.